This is Ecotricity's EcoTEC Roundup show from Aotearoa's first and only climate-positive certified renewable electricity provider. We only source from wind, hydro and solar, and we're the leading supplier of electricity to electric vehicles in Aotearoa. Switch today at ecotricity.co.nz. Welcome back to another roundup of news from the world of clean cars and green energy. Thanks for joining me. And no, I'm not Nikki. I'm Kate. Nikki is off doing meeting things, so you're getting me today. Sorry. Last week we reported that GM was delaying the start of production of Ultium-based EVs at its Orion plant. This week, following the release of GM's Q3 earnings, we heard more details about the production delays. CEO Mary Barra explained that the company is, quote, moderating the acceleration of EV production in North America to protect our pricing, adjust to slower near-term growth in demand, and implement engineering efficiency and other improvements, end quote. She suggested that the delays in production to the Equinox EV, Silverado EV SRT, and the GMC Sierra EV will be a few months long, and GM intends that by mid-2024 there should be no constraints on availability. It's certainly disappointing, but by no means a surprise, especially given GM's ongoing battle with the UAW over pay and conditions. In possibly, but not necessarily related news, Honda's CEO announced this week that it is abandoning plans to build affordable EVs based on the partnership it had with GM and utilising the Ultium platform. The first models from this partnership had been expected to enter production in 2027. However, having worked on the project for a year, it seems Honda has decided to pull the plug. In making the announcement, Honda cited the, quote, changing business environment, quote, and stated that it would continue to seek a solution to building an affordable EV independently. In a surprise move, the People's Republic of China has placed restrictions on the export of graphite, and now requires permits to export a variety of types of the same. China is the largest graphite producer and refiner in the world and currently refines more than 90% of the graphite used to make EV battery anodes, for which there is currently no substitute material. Concerningly, this move has the potential to severely impact lithium battery manufacturing capacity across the world and delay our transition to zero-emission transportation, and while it could be seen as an attempt to exert its influence on the global stage, it looks like it might backfire. We've already heard that South Korean manufacturers are looking to Mozambique and Tanzania as alternative sources for graphite. Last week, we told you about Tesla's Q3 results, but in an official SEC filing, Tesla has disclosed that it has received subpoenas from the Department of Justice regarding, quote, certain matters associated with personal benefits, related parties, vehicle range, and personnel decisions, end quote. It's likely that these subpoenas relate to one or more of the ongoing investigations into reports of the company funds being used to build Elon Musk a personal residence, the, quote, diversion team, which was intended to avoid dealing with complaints about vehicle range, the ongoing investigation into both autopilot and full self-driving, and possibly the sudden departure of CFO Zach Kirkhorn. The SEC filing indicates that to Tesla's knowledge no wrongdoing has been found. We will keep you up to date with further developments. While new EVs have continued to remain unaffordable to much of the population, we are starting to see that the used EV market is growing dramatically to fill that demand. A report by Recurrent states that in the first half of 2023, about 140,000 used EVs were sold in the United States, surpassing sales of any single other model except for the Tesla Model Y. At the same time, there's been a substantial fall in the prices of used EVs, with the average now being $27,800. That's despite the used market now including significant numbers of newer models. Add in that $4,000 used clean vehicle credit, and we're heading in the right direction. The United Auto Workers Union and Ford have announced that they have reached an agreement in principle to terms which could bring an end to the near 6-week-long strike, which has involved walkouts by thousands of workers at multiple Ford factories. According to NBC News, the automaker and the union participated in intense bargaining on Tuesday and Wednesday in an attempt to finalise a deal that involves a proposal for a wage increase of at least 25% over the term of the deal, as well as other improved benefits previously outlined by the union and the company. The deal is still subject to ratification by Ford's UAW-represented employees. Stellantis has fleshed out some more details behind its Pro 1 offensive, which, during our reporting on it last week, we erroneously implied that Stellantis had no current commercial EVs. It has no current EV pickups, which, interestingly, it isn't in a hurry to change, with none in the multi-brand lineup it shared this week. The quote, 6 brands, 1 force plan includes new vans across all common segments of European commercial vehicles, with the Ram ProMaster EV seeming likely to be the only commercial electric vehicle hitting the US until the arrival of the 2024 1500 REV pickup. With new vans featuring 400-volt e-power takeoff, 150-kilowatt rapid charging and ranges extending up to 260 miles, they should be compelling options in the increasingly crowded European marketplace. Entering another crowded marketplace, automaker Lucid has said that it will be unveiling the Lucid Gravity next month. With its current range consisting of just one model, the Lucid Air, the upcoming SUV will allow Lucid to enter the ever-popular luxury SUV segment, competing against the likes of the Rivian R1S, BMW iX and Mercedes-Benz EQS. However, it's likely that Lucid will be using its engineering knowledge to eke out substantially more range than its competitors, and it will also bring its class-leading rapid charging to the table. At the same time, the company is offering special 18-month leases on its current Lucid Air to encourage uptake of its existing model. While GM's presentation following the third quarter results was not exactly positive for EV manufacturing, CEO Mary Barra did offer the olive branch of some new details about the upcoming replacement Bolt EV. Unsurprisingly, the new Bolt EV will make use of LFP batteries, something that should help with bringing the cost down. Despite that, it will still be Ultium-based, with the Bolt being the first use of LFP batteries in the Ultium platform. But perhaps most interestingly, she hinted that the vehicle will be, to some extent, based on the outgoing Bolt EUV, perhaps suggesting it may not be quite as all-new as we originally thought. We have been excited to see the development of the commercial vehicle segment. With the appearance of multiple van platforms, we've been waiting to see how campers and RVs would make use of that technology. This week, Grounded announced the opening of pre-orders for its G2, built on the Brightdrop Zevo platform and with a configurable modular interior. It offers more than 250 miles of range, an outdoor shower, a queen-sized bed, 640 watts of solar power for charging, and a dry flush toilet. All for just $195,000, with deliveries expected to start this year. Before we go into the last two stories, a quick question. Are you in the market for a new electric car? If you are and you're in Aotearoa, you should totally check out our very own buyer's guide at ecotricity.co.nz. It's packed with all the information you need to pick a car that's right for you and includes plenty of details about incentives you can get, charging providers you can charge up with, and of course, how to get charging at home. Follow the link below and start your journey today. And now it is time for those last two stories. While the rest of the world has been sucked into ever larger vehicles, with SUVs and pickups taking an outsized role in the market, one place seems to be bucking the trend. In Japan, the top-selling EV is neither of those, nor is it even a sedan. It is instead a diminutive vehicle jointly developed by Mitsubishi and Nissan. Sold under the name EKX by Mitsubishi and Sakura by Nissan, the vehicle won Japan's Car of the Year award in 2022, and the tiny little K-Class vehicle shifted an impressive 35,099 units so far this year, costing just $13,000 equivalent, and with a pretty reasonable set of features, you can see why it might be so popular. And finally, we all know that EVs are as excellent off-road as they are on, and last weekend we got more results to prove it. A Rivian R1T, driven by Lily Massarusso with navigator Alex Anderson, took first place at the Rebelle rally. Covering 2,500 kilometres, that's roughly 1,500 miles across desert, rock and stone with intense heat and wind, and using only paper maps, compasses and plotters, really their success shows off the impressive skills of the team and the off-road chops of the R1T. In fact, of the top 20 teams, 3 of them drove Rivian R1Ts, so great news for the company. And on a personal note, Nikki met Lily during her off-road drive and says she's a good egg. So well done to her and Alex for an awesome result. And on that note, we are done for the day. Before I go though, do make sure that you've hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest in EV news from this channel. And of course, if you haven't already switched, why not switch to Aotearoa's first and only climate positive certified renewable electricity provider? It's super easy to make the switch and you'll be helping the nation wean itself off dirty energy and onto clean, green power that will keep the land beautiful. We'll be back next week as usual, and in the meantime don't forget to check out the latest videos from Gavin Kiwi EV Shoebridge on this channel. It doesn't matter what he's up to, it's always fun to watch. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Kate Walton Elliott. Ka kite. See you next time.